the beginning, there was only darkness. And inside that darkness, a father devoured his own children. One by one. Swallowed whole, still breathing, still screaming, trapped forever inside the body of the most powerful being in existence. That was the world Zeus was born into. A world where a god who ruled everything feared one thing above all else, that one day a child of his own blood would look him in the eye and take everything from him. He was right to be afraid. Long before the temples were built, before the first altar stone was laid in Athens or Olympia, before any human hand carved a god's face into marble, the Greeks looked up at the sky and saw something ancient and furious staring back. They called that something Kronos, a titan, the youngest and most ruthless of the 12 children born from Uranos, the sky and Gaia, the earth herself. Kronos had done what seemed impossible. With an adamantine sickle, forged from the very bones of the earth, he had castrated his own father, Uranos, and seized dominion over all creation. He became the Lord of Time, the ruler of the Golden Age, the god who sat at the center of the cosmos like a stone dropped into still water, his influence spreading outward to every edge of existence. But Gaia, wise and ancient, whispered a prophecy into the cold air. She told Kronos that as he had overthrown his father, so too would he be overthrown by his son. And so Kronos did what terrified rulers have always done. He tried to stop time itself. His wife, the Titaness Rhea, bore him 5 children: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, and Kronos swallowed each one the moment they entered the world. Whole, without hesitation. A tyrant's solution to a tyrant's fear. When Rhea carried her 6th child, something in her broke open like the earth before a flood. She would not let this one go. Picture him now, the god who would remake the world. Zeus, and that name itself meant something close to the shining sky, the bright one, the divine breath moving through everything. He was not born old and towering. He was born an infant hidden in a cave on the island of Crete, on the sacred slopes of Mount Ida, wrapped in cloth and silence while his mother wept, and a stone sat in his place, inside his father's stomach. But the child who grew in that cave became something the world had never seen. Zeus, in his full power, stood like a mountain given a body. His presence alone could silence every wind and still every sea. His eyes burned with the white light of lightning, not the lightning of a storm, but something older, something that existed before storms had names. His weapon was the thunderbolt, forged by the Cyclopes, the 3 brothers Brontes, Steropes, and Arges, thunder, lightning, and bright, who had been imprisoned in Tartarus by Kronos and freed by Zeus himself as a gift of gratitude. The bolt was not merely a weapon. It was divine will, made physical. The moment a god decided something would end, his voice shook the foundations of mountains. When he raged, the air smelled of burning copper and ozone, sharp and metallic at the back of your throat. When he was calm, there was a stillness that felt like the second before a wave breaks. Beautiful, absolute, and quietly terrifying. He could become anything. Eagle, bull, cold rain falling through a dungeon roof. But in his truest form, Zeus was something no mortal eye could survive seeing. He was also patient. Patient the way mountains are patient. And that patience was perhaps the most dangerous thing about him. Rhea could not bear to watch another child disappear. She went to Gaia, the ancient earth, the oldest of all, and begged for a plan. Gaia gave her one. When Zeus was born, Rhea wrapped a stone in swaddling cloth held it out to Kronos with shaking hands, and watched the Lord of Time swallow it without even looking down. She did not breathe until it was done. The child was carried to Crete, to a cave the sun barely touched. Divine nymphs called the Meliae tended him there, feeding him honey from the sacred bee Melissa and the milk of the divine goat Amalthea. The Curetes, warrior guardians, beat their shields with their spears outside the cave entrance to drown out any cry the infant made, ensuring Kronos would hear nothing. Zeus grew. And when he was ready, the Titaness Metis gave him a powerful emetic potion, something that would force even a god to surrender what he had swallowed. Zeus approached his father not with rage, but with cunning, offering the drink in disguise. Kronos drank. The stone came first. Rocketing from the Titan's mouth, spinning through the air, landing at Delphi where it would sit forever as the Omphalos, the navel of the world. Then came the gods. Poseidon, Hades, Hera, Demeter, Hestia. Erupting from their father's body fully grown, their eyes wild with the memory of a prison they had spent an eternity inside. Kronos understood then what was happening. He had always known this moment would come. The prophecy had never been wrong. He let out a sound that was not quite screaming and not quite thunder, something between the two, something that had never existed before and would never exist again. The war that followed lasted 10 years. 10 years of sky against earth. 10 years of titans on Mount Othrys and gods on Mount Olympus, throwing mountains at each other like stones skipped across a river, the very landscape of Greece being rearranged by the violence of divine conflict. Zeus descended into the black pit of Tartarus. He walked into the deepest darkness in existence, and he broke the chains of the Cyclopes and the 100-handed giants, the Hecaton Kyries, beings with 50 heads and 100 arms each, who could throw 300 boulders simultaneously. He freed them. He asked for their help, and then the Titans learned what a god with nothing left to fear actually looked like. The sky split. Not like a storm. Like something fundamental being torn apart, like creation itself being rewritten mid-sentence. Zeus raised the thunderbolt. He did not throw it gently. He threw it like a man who had waited an entire lifetime and would wait not 1 second more. The Hecaton Kyries buried the Titans under mountains of stone. Kronos fell. Not slowly. All at once. The Lord of Time, the Golden King, the Swallower of Gods, down into Tartarus, into the chains he had placed on others, into the dark that doesn't end. The world went silent for the first time in 10 years. In the aftermath, 3 brothers divided a world that no longer had a master. Zeus took the sky. Poseidon took the sea. Hades took the underworld. And the earth, Gaia's body, remained shared, too old and too vast to belong to any single god. But the victory was not clean. Gaia, grieving for her Titan children, sent new horrors. The giants rose in a war called the Gigantomachy. Typhon, the last great monster, a creature whose head scraped the stars and whose roar contained every sound ever made, came for Zeus himself, tore the sinews from his hands and left him momentarily helpless in a cave in Cilicia. But Zeus recovered. He always recovered. That was the truest thing about him. The Titans were sealed in Tartarus, guarded forever by the Hecaton Kyries, the very beings whose imprisonment had made the Titans powerful, now turned into their eternal jailers. Kronos, some later myths whispered, was eventually pardoned, sent to rule the Isle of the Blessed at the edge of the world. A quiet exile. A golden cage for a golden king. the lesson the Greeks embedded in this myth was not subtle. Tyranny feeds on itself. Every act of violence taken to prevent the prophecy was the very thing that made the prophecy come true. Kronos swallowed his children because he feared being overthrown, and in doing so, he created the one circumstance that made his overthrow inevitable. Mount Olympus now had 12 thrones, and the age of gods had truly begun. We have never stopped telling this story. Zeus lives in every thunderstorm that makes you flinch, in every eagle that circles overhead, in the word Jupiter, the Roman name, that still floats above us on the largest planet in our solar system. He is in the films, in the novels, in the paintings that line the walls of the greatest museums on Earth. He is in Hesiod's Theogony, written nearly 3,000 years ago and still read in universities today. He is the template, the All-Father, the Sky God, the divine authority at the top of the cosmic structure that appears in mythologies from Norse to Hindu to Mesopotamian. We keep telling this story because it is not really about gods at all. It is about power and fear. About what happens when the powerful try to eat the future to protect themselves from it. About the child hidden in the cave who grows up to become exactly what the tyrant was afraid of. Some stories are too true to ever die. Somewhere beneath the oldest mountains in the world, in a darkness that has no bottom, the titans are still there, still waiting. And the next time the sky above you splits open and the thunder comes down, like the fist of something older than memory, ask yourself, what exactly is Zeus still afraid of? If this story gave you chills, subscribe. We bring ancient myths to life every day.